Zias Caraval from ZK Research here, and I'm outside one of the Verizon switching centers in Tampa, Florida. Not only does this facility provide telephone services and internet services to people all over this area of Florida, but it also does some of the crisis response. So I'm going to go in, get a little tour, take a look at some of the equipment, so follow me in for the ZK tour. All right, well, I'm inside the facility now, and I'm with Ramesh Toolsie. Ramesh, tell me a little bit about yourself. You manage a lot of the things in here, right?
Yes, I'm the operations director for Florida, and what I'm responsible for all the cell sites and all of the switch facilities that we have in Florida.
Okay, and so this, as I mentioned outside, this is one of the switching facilities. How is this used in conjunction with crisis response?
Well, we have what you call drills. We do a lot of emergency operation center drills here, EOC drills. And for crisis response, for example, in Hurricane Ian, which affected a big part of Florida, we had people here who were previously trained for recovery. And we trained for that using a lot of tools. We come here, we meet, we look at the network to see what needs to be, what needs to be repaired, or if you have any issues, how we tackle it, work with different vendors and different companies who provide a service, and bring the network up. So it's a very critical facility for us.
Okay, and give me an idea how big this facility is actually. You can't really tell from the outside, but it's a fairly large facility.
Yep, the facility is definitely over 25,000 square feet facility. We have a lot of for the greater Tampa area, all the voice and data traffic coming through here. It's a large facility. At this facility, not only some of the systems that process and transport the traffic that we have, voice and data, as I said, we also have a lot of transportable assets or portable assets.
Yeah.
That we have a lot of room here, and we store and then we use as needed.
So this is the switching facility for the Tampa area, plus you house a lot of the crisis response equipment, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
We want to make sure that we have a lot of assets within Florida, and especially as we have so much room here, we do have a lot of the assets. We send a lot of assets from here to different parts of Florida. At different location, we do have for assets at that location, but it's supplemented definitely with transportables from this location.
Okay, and I know we just did a little analysis event here where you went through some of the emergency preparedness. So hurricane season's coming, obviously, and it's something you face every year. What are the kinds of activities you do just ahead of that to make sure that when a hurricane or a tropical storm happens, you're ready for it?
Well, definitely. Power is a big deal. That always happens. There's always a challenge. We have a lot of generators in the network. We make sure we have a fuel. So we have started a long time ago, actually, because there are so many people moving into Florida now. We are topping off the generators to make sure that we have enough fuel. And in addition to that, we look at we're doing preventative maintenance and make sure that key sites, actually all sites, especially the cold cell sites, we do preventative maintenance and troubleshooting if we have issues. We do drills. Actually multiple drills to prepare for hurricane season. And on the drills, we have not just one in one location. We have a different location, and they act as backup because anything can happen. Some people can be stranded, etc. You have to plan for those type of activity. So, we go through all of that. We work with the fueling vendors to make sure that we have the support, which we always do. But we go through those mechanics. The communication is real important. The people working together is just real important. And then also the tools and, trying to prepare and do this efficiently.
All right. So if you're living in the Orlando, Tampa area, and you go through a hurricane, if the network goes down, it comes back right away. It was the work of your team that did that.
Hey, yes.
All right.
Well, I wouldn't blame, especially the field engineers, the systems and field engineers. Florida is hot, and as you know, I'm even sweating. We were just outside. Yeah, you know, the humidity is high at this time, and typically hurricane season time, the humidity is high, the weather is, the temperature is hot, and you know, so we prepare for all of that just to make sure that they have enough sustenance, I should say, out there. So, you know, when they're ready to recover the network, everything is fine.
All right, so we're going to go in and do a little walk around, hit some of the stations, take a look at some of the equipment. You up for that?
Sure.
All right, let's go. All right, Ramesh, it looks like we're in some kind of control center here. I see a lot of desks and people working, a bunch of screens. What's this room used for?
Well, as you said, it's a control room. And in this room, we monitor the network. We even help the field engineers if we are doing integrations of sites. But definitely monitor and troubleshoot if we have any issues, not only within this building and the electronics of the building, but also even at the cell sites. We monitor the network if something is going on. We have certain alarms that we get. We look at it, and then we react accordingly, right? In addition to this, we also have what you call our NMC, Network Maintenance Center, that oversees all of this. So we will see it, they will also see it too, which is actually a good thing, which helps a great deal, especially in disaster recovery.
And so how big a geographic area does this room monitor?
Oh, the greater Tampa area,
okay.
And a lot of the counties, for example, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Polk County, going down to Sarasota, even down to Port Charlotte, the Port Charlotte area, Brandon, for example, Newport Richey. So the greater Tampa area, core Tampa and the greater Tampa, including Raymond James, of course, when we had the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that must have been something, huh?
Oh, it was. And that was, something like that you prepare for, literally years before, and you have to plan for an activity like, such a great event.
That's a lot of
really.
people, yeah.
Because you have to plan for a lot of people. Yeah, no, absolutely. You want to make sure that they have a good experience with this network, and so which they did.
Give the audience some kind of insight as to the size and scope of what that area is. Like, how many cell towers would that be? What kind of population base is that? Do you have that information?
Well, we have a lot of towers, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot, and we can add. We have what you call macro sites, and
is it in hundreds, thousands?
Well, we have hundreds and thousands.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. We even look at the greater Tampa area. We're talking, thousands, and but we have different type of sites. We have the macro sites. We have small cell sites for capacity. But we have a fair amount.
But one hurricane then could wipe out literally thousands of sites from towers from millions of people.
Well, in
a worst case scenario.
Yeah, worst case scenario. We have been through this, and typically our network has been fairly resilient, actually. Yeah. In terms of the structure, we follow what you refer to as the construction, practices of Florida, especially for hurricane, and it has worked very well. I mean, yes, there are times, let's be realistic, there are things that, something might go down, but that's minimal. Even in Hurricane Michael, our own towers going down, we didn't have any, and our own towers in Hurricane Ian, none of the towers went down, and so it's a challenge, right, obviously.
What's the expression? You plan for the worst, hope for the best. Right?
Exactly, right? You plan, exactly. You plan for the worst. Again, resiliency is very core to us, resiliency and redundancy, and we continue to work on that, especially redundancy, resiliency, especially like, for example, this facility. This facility is a Cat 5 rated facility, right? And, we take this very seriously. We have a lot of systems in here, and we make sure we have a fair amount of redundancy, all those sites that, that serve our customers. I have to come back to this facility as an example, just to simplify this whole thing, right? And they all use fiber optic connections to come in. And we're talking about gigs to multiple gigs to 10 gigs to 100 gigs coming back. And, and in the core rings, we have redundancy, and then coming in here, even the entrant part coming into here. we have redundancy.
All right. So now I think we're going to go take a look at your data center, although I'm not allowed in there, from what I understand. So, but maybe you can do a good job of describing what's in there. How's that?
Sure.
Okay, let's head there. Okay, Ramesh. Well, we're in this room now, and I see a bunch of batteries here. Tell me a little bit about this room. Actually, I'm not sure I've ever seen this many batteries in one place before. So, what happens here?
Well, we have the batteries for backup, and the reason for that is because it helps when, for example, we have the AC power fails. The AC power fails, it's a different level of backup. So in a facility, we have backup for the backup. So you have the AC power that comes in from the power company. If that fails, you have the generators. And in addition to that, for critical system, the critical systems have battery backup. The battery backup actually helps a great deal, especially if a generator has to come on. Sometimes there is a glitch before the generator actually settles down, and the batteries actually, because the equipment is very sensitive, and make sure it smooths off the electrical power that's coming in to feed that equipment. So it helps a great deal, and also we have multiple hours of battery backup, which helps. So even if the backup of the backup fails, we still have the battery system.
So this is the power supply of last resort.
Yep.
Yeah. And so how long can you run on battery here?
6 to 8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 to 8 hours.
And give me an idea, how many batteries are in here? These are, they look like oversized car batteries. Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. We have a lot. Yeah, and for a facility like this, it takes a fair amount of batteries. We are always looking at our power system every few years. We stress test the system to make sure the batteries are good. We check them all the time. Not only the batteries, but the overall electrical system.
And to be clear, you're not shutting down a bunch of systems. You're running the entire facility on battery.
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive. So,
yeah, the critical systems.
Yeah.
Some systems have what you call UPS.
Yeah.
UPS systems that even have some batteries, but these are the main for the DC power system. Because we have the DC. Most of the equipment are DC powered.
Yeah, and so it's obviously traditional power first, then generator, and then this is the third level of power. Okay. All right, thanks. So where are we heading next?
We will head to the mechanical room.
Sure.
And then see all those big compressors, I will call it, so that you could understand it, right? Because the analogy is, guess what? What you have at home, right? For an HVAC.
Just bigger. Okay, let's go.
But that's bigger, huge.
All right, as Ramesh mentioned, we're inside the compressor room. I see some great big AC units. I see some tanks. What's all this used for?
Well, we need cooling, right, for all that equipment and this enclosed building. And so we have a fair amount of equipment in this building. And we have over 30 tons of HVAC in this building, and that is why it's so noisy. And but what's huge, we have redundancy. We have a lot of redundancy. It's what we call N+1 redundancy.
Yeah.
A unit could fail, the others can pick it up. If, for example, the backup for the backup, fails, we have what you call an HVAC on wheels. That's outside. And then what we do, we pipe or conduit and duct that HVAC portable system into here using those outlets that we have installed.
Okay.
All right.
And then what are these white tanks here?
Oh, that's for the fire suppression. God forbid that we have something like that. We have these FM200 fire suppression systems, and
so you have a lot of electronics though. How does that fire suppression work with that?
Well, the fire suppression, it's basically a gas, right? It's not like the old style where you have a foam. It's a gas. So basically, instead of everything going off, and you have sensors, if in a certain room there is a fire, there's an alarm, and it triggers that, okay, it will go off. Instead of the whole thing going off, let's go off in that room. So we have sensors, and designed that way. So you know, if there's a fire, it just will squelch that fire.
Okay. And then what's this unit here?
Oh, that's what you call, a spot cooler, right? So, which we can move around, it's portable. So say for example, again, the backup for the backup, the HVAC system, we have a problem, we can actually pull the spot cooler, just in case we have an issue.
All right, so even in sunny, hot Florida, this facility will be cool.
This facility will be cool.
All right, thanks. Now let's head to our next stop.
All right.
So Ramesh and I are in what Verizon affectionately calls the barn. That is, you keep a lot of your
farmyard.
Or the farmyard, a lot of your response equipment. And we are in front of what, well, tell me, what are these that we're looking at? They look like pretty space age things.
Well, what we're looking at in general here are all our transportable assets that we go out, you know, in this disaster. If, for example, a tower comes down, or even we have to fire up a staging area that's really important for the city or the county, then we can put what we call a tower on wheels. So we'll just raise this up, and suddenly we got a tower.
So this is literally a portable tower.
Yes, it's a portable tower.
I see it telescopes up, and what kind of capacity would this have?
Well, it goes up to, it can go up to, depending on which one you have, from 60 feet to even up to 100 plus feet.
Okay. And so this would be used in response or crisis situations, but also just for extra capacity, I'm assuming, right?
Yes. So we can use the extra capacity. We use this in conjunction with the, say for example, what you call a cow or a calf, and that has the electronics. Basically, the electronics are the cell sites.
Okay.
So, you know, 4G and 5G electronics are that cell site. 5G, and then ultra wideband, as that's a new thing now. You know,
yes.
Over the last few years, we have been putting.
I've seen the ads.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're very proud of that, by the way. Yeah, it's very good for the consumer. And yeah, so we use this in conjunction with that trailer. So it's another trailer that we will have. In addition to that, we will have one of those generators that we pull up to make sure it's powered. So it's all self-contained, that area.
Okay. I want to thank Ramesh Toolsie for walking me around this facility. Hope you enjoyed this EK tour. Remember, if you're in this Florida area, around the Tampa, Orlando area, and you have, and a storm comes through, it was the good folks here that do all the work to make sure that your connectivity stays up and you can call your loved ones in times of a disaster.